Hi guys, so I wanted to do a quick video of some groceries that I got from the center of Athens today. You all know that every culture has their own set of medicine herbs that they use. Like China has Taoism, and then you have the shamans. They have their own stuff. Uh, in a similar way, Greeks have their own things. They're not as popular because Greece is small. Uh, I guess Greece falls under this category of the Mediterranean herb uh, set of herbs that they use. They call superfoods in a way. So I just wanted to review a few of them that I got today, and something out of nothing. These are some pistachio I got, 4 pounds. This is the I've had pistachio from a lot of different places, California, organic, uh, collected on the wild, from all over prepackaged, but this is by far superior. They're coming from an area called Aegina. It's a small island in Greece, and I think it has to do something with the ground, the soil that they grow in. They just have this perfect flavor. It's so superior than anything else that I had, and I think they're packed in nutrition compared to the ones that you get in the States or anywhere else. The closest ones that come to these actually are the Turkish ones, which is very close, and that's why my suspicion is that they're it has something to do with the soil, the Mediterranean soil. So I'll try to do my best here with the herbs to name them. I'll start with my favorite one. This is a tea. It actually grows in a very high altitude, so they call it here Tsai to Vuno. Vuno means mountain. It's I guess because it only grows, in such a very, high altitude. It's also an adaptogen, so it must have some good properties. Plus, the flavor is pretty good. Haven't seen that anywhere else. If someone recognizes it, please let me know in the description. Put a comment or something. Uh, Moving on, this is probably familiar to most of you. Let me find it right here. This is sage. You make a tea out of this. You can make a hundred things with sage. You can find sage anywhere. There's nothing special about it. It has that strong smell. Moving on to the more specific things in Greece. This is called platanomia. I'm sure it exists in some other places. Don't scream at me if I don't recognize the English name for it. But it's very good for tea, and it helps with prostate and other things. Those little beads here are very, very, very strong anti-cancerous agents as well. So how you usually prepare this, you cut it up in half and you make it on a tea or an infusion, whatever you're doing. If you're combining several of those, I really like the flavor that comes out of this. It's pretty good. Moving on, this one right here, it's called agriata. This would probably remind you something like astragalus root, but it's not. It's very, very similar if you see it closely. I'm trying to zoom in here. It looks like a root, but it's not. It's actually a bush. A bush that grows in mountains usually in the north of Greece. Um, you can get that in other places too, but that's where it's prominent. This has a lot of anti-cancerous properties, and it's I think what they call in the Chinese herbal medication is like a yin. So I really like it. It's good. I make it into a tea. Sometimes I make it into a tincture. You can see my other tincture video if you want to find out more about it. Uh, Moving on, this is what they call tsuknida in Greece. Its leaves. It's very green. It's very high in phytochemicals, so it has a lot of anti-cancerous properties. It cleanses the uh, liver and the kidneys, so it's a gin tonic. That's what I would categorize it in terms of Chinese herbal medication. Similar to this one, I can't actually remember the name. It's also very, very similar to the previous one, the Tucnida. It's also, you prepare it into a tea or an infusion, and it has very similar properties. Now this one here, you guys are probably familiar with this. I've seen it in Michigan at least. I can't remember the name in English. I have to look it up. But this is really, really good if you're having problems with your stomach. It settles an upset stomach, and it almost instantly fixes, problems like diarrhea, infections, stomach, viruses and that kind of stuff. It's really, really good for that. It's not something that you would be taking every day though, like all the other things. I will try to find out the name of it and I'll add it in the description later on, but it's really good. And I think that concludes my quick video of the things that I bought from Athens. Thank you.